Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Oh my goodness. I am preparing to go Facebook Live as well as YouTube Live. So we are on live on Facebook as well as on Zoom. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us via Zoom. Thank you for joining us via Facebook Live and of course YouTube. Today, it's been an interesting week. So let me back up. Let me welcome you all to the Empowerment Clinic with Ryan L. Jones. I am your host, Ryan L. Jones. And I'm just grateful to be here, to be able to share with you, to be able to speak a word into your life. I thank all of you for tuning in on Zoom as well as on Facebook Live, and we are on YouTube Live as well. So we are going to have a great topic today. Those who are on Zoom, you are always welcome to chime in at any time because I want to be able to hear from you. So I'm trying to be the host as well as monitor both of or all three of the social media platforms at the same time. So today's topic, I just want to talk about give yourself permission to. Give yourself permission to. And the reason why I want to talk about that, because too many times we look for affirmation from other people. We look to make a decision based on what someone else says to us. And therefore, we don't take the time to make the decision for ourselves. So I want to encourage you to make the decision for yourself. Give yourself permission to do whatever it is that you want to do or that you need to do, because you have to have permission to do exactly what it is that you want to do. No one, absolutely positively no one should make the decision for you. You ought to give yourself permission to do. What are you giving yourself permission to do? What is it that you are giving yourself permission to do? Because a lot of times, again, you look for affirmation from other people and you don't really want to take time to affirm yourself. So today, give yourself permission to. What are you giving yourself permission to do? What is it that you want to do that you're not giving yourself permission to do? So what I want to do is talk a little bit more about that. Give yourself permission to. Why aren't you giving yourself permission? Why aren't you giving yourself permission to succeed? Most people, unfortunately, give themselves permission to fail because we accept failure quicker than we accept success. So I just want to read something real quickly. My latest book, which is powerful beyond. This one is The Season of Change. And in it, there's a section which is entitled, Give Yourself Permission to Live. I'm just going to read part of it. And I start out with this. It says, when was the last time you gave yourself permission to do something you really wanted to do for yourself? Give full permission to be yourself, to do and to have the things that you really want. What is permission? Permission is a powerful word. It is a word that can enslave you of your own doubts and fears or set you free to pursue your dreams. It gives you some living room. What is living room? An opportunity to live. You have to give yourself permission to live. Give yourself permission for everything. Permission to make mistakes. Permission to be alive. Permission to achieve. Permission to have abundance. Permission to accept Your failures, you have to give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to cry, to laugh, to scream, permission to have an attitude, permission to be amazing, permission to anticipate, permission to set the atmosphere, permission to pay attention to your dreams, goals, and your vision, permission to be authentic and to take authority, permission to be awesome. You have to give yourself permission. Too many times, again, we look for validation from other people and then we don't accept the validation from ourselves. We don't give ourselves permission to do that, because so many people have been speaking something in our ear that we begin to believe all of that which they say and never give ourselves permission to do what we need to do. The only person that truly needs to live with your life decision every day is you. When you start listening to your own voice and taking steps to make you happy, your life begins to change, because you're now listening to your own voice, the voice that's going to guide you, the voice that's going to give you your best life. But you have to give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to remove toxic people from your life. Give yourself permission to say yes to whatever you want. Give yourself permission to live by design and not by default. Give yourself permission to go, grow, and glow. Listen, it's simple. Give yourself permission to be whomever you want to be. Not listening or not looking for validation from someone else, but giving yourself validation based on what you want, based on your own life, based on what you decide to do. Listen, remind yourself that you are an authentic, custom-made, one-of-a-kind, original, unique individual, and what is truly important to you is what is right. Give yourself permission. 2, the flip side of that, the last word is to, T-O. But you also have to give yourself permission, T-O-O, give yourself permission to, because there are some people who have said some wonderful and who have spoken and who continue to speak into your life, who continue to say some powerful, positive things to you and about you. So you give yourself permission to speak something into your life so that it will help elevate you to the next level. As long as you continue to give yourself permission to do some amazing things, you will begin to see where you can grow, simply because you have given yourself permission to, T-O-O-T-O. You've given yourself permission to grow, and you've given yourself permission, T-O-O, simply because you have listened to the people who are speaking life into your life. But at the same time, you have to remove those toxic people. See, toxic people will always remind you, particularly if you are growing. Remember I said you're growing, you're going, and you're glowing. When you're growing, going, and glowing, you're going to have people who constantly remind you of how you used to be. Let me say that again. You will have people in your life who will remind you of how you used to be. No matter how, listen, you could have been a drug dealer 70 years ago. 70 years of a drug dealer. Now you have moved on from doing drugs. You have not done drugs, a drug dealer in 70 years. As a matter of fact, you've turned your life around. You have become this whole new person. You've transformed. But you run into somebody who knew you 70 years ago, and they want to remind you of how you used to be. But you have to give yourself permission to go, grow, glow. You're not the same. You're not in that dark place anymore. You're not in darkness. You're not the darkness because you are glowing. You've moved on. You're doing something completely different. You found yourself in a different place. So therefore, when you find yourself in a different place, you've given yourself permission to look ahead. Give yourself permission to look forward, to look onward, and to look upward while looking inward. Do not, whatever you do, spend your time looking backwards. See, too many times people go through life. They just go through life. They will continue to go through life. But I'm challenging you to grow through life. Don't just go through life, because when you go through life, if you are in a classroom and you call the roll, and you're going to have a lot of your students are going to say, here, I'm here, I'm here. Those are people, in my opinion, who just simply go through life. People who actually grow through life, they're present. There's a difference. I've said it before. There's a difference between being here and being present. You have to be present. You have to grow through life. Give yourself permission. When you give yourself permission, you tune out all of the other voices from particularly those toxic people, those negative people, because they're going to be there. You are going to go through life, no matter how positive we are, no matter how upbeat we are, there are always going to be people who are going to be negative. There are always going to be people who, for whatever reason, that old saying, misery loves company, they will always be that person. They never have anything they never see the bright side of anything. That one thing that might be messed up, but there are 100 other things that are really, really good that happen. They will focus on that one thing and forget about that other 100 things that are really good. But you give yourself permission to remove those toxic. It's okay. It's okay to remove toxic people from your life. Completely okay. But give yourself permission to do some amazing things in life. So my question now is, and those who are on Zoom, you can chime in at any time. Are you giving yourself permission to do what it is that you really want to do in life? Or are you looking for validation from someone else? Because you really, you know in your heart of hearts that you really want to do something, that it is your goal, it is your dream, it is your vision. You know that you want to do something. But fear steps in. Fear has two meanings. Fear is forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. So you're allowing the fear to step in, and you run and you retreat because the people that you're looking to give you validation, they're not giving you the validation that you need. So therefore but here again, you know that you absolutely positively need to be doing that which you have been called to do. But because you didn't get the validation from someone else, you decide, well, you know what? Maybe this is not something that I need to be doing. The choice is so yours. So are you deciding that you are going to do something or not? Bridget in the chat box on Zoom, you made a great point. Her point was, sometimes it's safer to stay on the bench as opposed to get in the game. And in some cases, it is because we become comfortable being comfortable. We become content with the content. In other words, yeah, she's right. Sometimes it is safer to stay on the bench. But then there are times when you just have to just say, I'm going to get into the game, and I'm going to do my absolute very best. No, I'm just going to use basketball as an analogy. I'm not a great three-point shooter. But if the coach puts me in the game and time is ticking down, winding down, and the ball is in my hand, and I can't pass the ball to anyone else, I'm going to take the shot. Wayne Gretzky, hockey. Wayne Gretzky said you miss 100% of the shots that you never take. So yeah, in certain cases, it is safe to stay on the bench. But I say get in the game. I say get out there. I say give yourself permission to win. What is win? Want it now. W-I-N. Win. Want it now. Because a lot of times we don't want it now. We want to win, but we don't want it now. So when you give yourself permission to win, you have to want it now. You have to get up, get in the game. Don't look back with regret. Keep moving forward, keep moving on, keep moving. Oh, y'all got me going on with this chat in the box. I'm trying to read the chat in the box. That's true. You do miss some from the bench. But are you in the game? Are you just, okay, so yeah, we're sitting on the bench. Are you going to just spend the rest of your life just sitting on the bench watching life go by? Or at some point, are you going to get up and take a chance? Give yourself permission to get up, go out, and take a chance. We stay on the bench because of fear. We allow fear to keep us on the bench. We allow fear to keep us from not going into the game. But when you give yourself permission, you give yourself permission to go ahead and do those things that you know. Remember, you know these things are absolutely positively right because this is what you have been called to do. So you give yourself permission. Validation from other. I see Sharon coming on, so that must mean Sharon is about to say something. I already know, and I'm going to give you the opportunity. But you have to. You have to. The first word in that is give. So you give yourself permission to be successful. Listen. You can give yourself permission to be successful. You can give yourself permission to fail. You can give yourself permission to be on top, or you can give yourself permission to be on bottom. You make the decision. It's all about manifesting. I believe this. I believe in the law of attraction. Some people don't. That's perfectly fine if you don't. I believe you have not just what you think about, you have what you speak about. That's why I said give yourself permission. If you are going to give yourself permission to be successful, if you are going to give yourself permission to be healthy, if you are going to give yourself permission to do whatever it is that you want to do, speak it. Now, I'm not this, I'm in ministry. It took me a while to come out of this. You know, when I was growing up, it was all about this quote unquote, name it and claim it theology. God, I want a brand new car. And it was supposed to miraculously happen. No. I believe, however, not necessarily in the name it and claim it theology, but I believe if you continue to speak life into your life, those things will begin to manifest. Because guess what? Everything that you want is already here. It's waiting for you. But you have to give yourself permission to go get it. Sharon, I see you, Sharon. No, you're shaking head. No, you just wanted to come on the camera. Okay, that's fine. But you have to give yourself permission. So my question to those in the Zoom, of course, you know, via YouTube and Facebook Live. I think we lost Facebook Live, but we're still on YouTube Live. But those of you who are on Zoom, I'll ask the question again, and you at any time feel free to chime in. It's simply this. What are you giving yourself permission to do? Now, I'm not talking about validation from anyone else. I'm not talking about what someone else is saying. I'm not talking about you hearing from someone else. I'm not talking about you looking for confirmation from someone. I'm simply talking about what are you giving yourself permission to do? Or are you even giving yourself permission to be successful, to achieve, to do some amazing things, to be your absolute very best? A place where you're looking. Let me say this. Permission comes from within, and you are 100% responsible for granting it. It is completely within your power because there is only one person that needs to give you permission to live a life of greatness. That person simply is the person that looks back at you when you're looking in the mirror every day. But when you give yourself permission, it shifts the mindset. It shifts the mindset to listening to your own voice and not listening to the voice of others. Because you gave yourself permission to listen. And in giving yourself permission to listen, give yourself permission to hear. It's one thing to listen, but it's another thing to hear. So give yourself permission to hear your voice speaking to you, telling you how amazing you are, how awesome you are, how incredible you are, how fantabulous you are. You give yourself permission to prosper. When we use that word prosper, we're thinking money. Give yourself permission to prosper in every area of your life, to become the best you that you can become. It's just that simple. I guess what I'm saying to you guys, I don't want you sitting on the bench. Get out there, get in life and make it happen. Listen, we will fail, we will fall, we will stumble, we will have our shortcomings, all of that will happen. It's part of life, but don't give up. If you get up in the morning and give yourself permission to think, you get up in the morning, you stump your toe, you bump your toe on the bedpost, and then all of a sudden, the first thing, some people say, it's going to be a bad day because I stumped my foot on the bedpost. So now you put in your mind that the rest of your day is going to be a bad day because you stumped your toe. But I want you to get up in the morning and immediately give yourself permission. Today is going to be an incredible day. It's going to be tomorrow morning, Monday. It's going to be a magnificent and manifesting Monday. I know it. And whatever happens throughout the day, I'm still in the mindset that it is going to be a magnificent Monday. It may start out rocky, but it's going to end on a different note. It's up to you. I'm going to stop right quick. Anybody on, when am I on Zoom? Oh, see, I got something. I'm just trying to stop having all this stuff going on so I can focus on one thing. Anybody on Zoom had anything they want to say right quick? I see you, Sharon. Go ahead. Sharon, you can always jump in here and give us that mental health component of what we need. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Well, that mental wellness, that's what
mental wellness. Oh.
Yeah. But this is such a powerful, powerful message. And one thing I want to say, Ryan, is that giving yourself permission goes hand in hand. I want to say that this is a self-care act. This is a powerful self-care act when you give yourself permission, because part of self-care is self-awareness, know thyself. And so when you know yourself, you're going to give yourself permission to do the things that you need to do to take care of yourself. And then when you were talking about toxic people, when you know yourself, you're not going to allow toxic people in your circle. You're going to have everything that's around you that's in alignment with yourself. So it's going to be easy to not have those individuals around because of the fact you know yourself. And then when you're talking about growing, and glowing, that's movement and action. You're going to go towards those things. Again, that's in alignment. So again, when it comes to giving yourself permission to, it is a self-care act. Know yourself and move towards that in all things, people and places that's in alignment, and everything else would just fall in place. So that's the main thing I just wanted to say.
I thank you, because we do have to look at that self-wellness and set the atmosphere. Your atmosphere, you said it, it's the people, it's the places, it's the things. All of those encompasses setting the atmosphere for us to be able to move to another level in life. And I think part of that, and thank you for sharing that, Sharon, and you guys are welcome to chime in. I think too many times we become stagnant, if that makes sense, where when we are stagnant, we are so comfortable, or we have become so comfortable. And Sharon, you talk about that self-wellness, self-care. We become so comfortable in a certain atmosphere or position around certain people that I sometimes don't understand. We should give ourselves permissions. This is all about self-wellness, self-care. Give yourself permission to speak life into your life.
Mm-hmm.
Give yourself permission, watch this, to just simply hug yourself. Give yourself permission to be pissed off, but legitimately pissed off.
At yourself when it's appropriate.
Thank you, Bridget. When it's legitimate. Now, I don't just get pissed off just to be getting pissed off because it rained and you wanted it to be sunshiny outside and it just started raining. That's a waste of a pissed offness. But yes, Bridget, you're right. Absolutely. Legitimately. I'm about to mess somebody's theology up.
And that's self-care.
Thank you. But I'm about to mess. I'm about to. If I'm glad, I'm kind of glad that Facebook Live is not on, because I'm really about to mess up somebody's theology. I hope I don't. Really, I really hope I don't mess up your theology.
Ryan, may I?
You may,
Sometimes
absolutely may.
we need the theology that we have grown to know and love and feel comfort in to be messed up sometimes. Too many of us are living and walking like Walking Dead through places, through things that are just not true. And so, yeah, it's okay to mess up the theology because it's a bad foundation that needs to be rebuilt. And the other thing
Okay.
I would say, I completely agree with what you and Sharon are saying. We need to stop. It's that notion of being sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Mm-hmm.
You're not sick and tired enough until you decide. I had to do that. It's like nobody wants to hear me whine. I don't even want to hear myself whine and complain about the things that I'm unwilling to do anything about. I can't even take that back to God.
Say that, but you are unwilling.
Yeah. Because there's comfort in that. Because I know that one. It might be crazy. But it's the lesser of the two evils. Sometimes we have to decide. I just don't feel like going through all that. So I'm talking about myself. This is where I've been. And so when a year ago I was laid off of the job that I poured my whole self into, I had to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was sick and tired of the job, but I, would apply for other jobs here and there. But then when I had no job, my whole world just crumbled, so that I am rebuilding it. And I had to, that whole thing about learning yourself, knowing you can't go anywhere until you know who you are.
Woo!
And so sometimes when people don't have these circumstances in their lives, they can easily be all on Facebook talking about how great things are, and then get in a corner and crumble up into a little ball when it goes bad. You got to kind of get to know who in the world you are finally. And nothing else really happens until that happens.
See, I'm about to ready to lift the offering right now.
Mess it up. So yeah, mess up the theology.
But here comes the theology that don't mess you up on. Because you're right, Sunday school, and I'm so grateful for seminary. Not saying that seminary did change my theology, because I got a greater perspective. It's okay to get angry with God. Now, don't go cussing God now. But it's okay to get angry with. We say God is, I don't like to use necessarily the term father, because God is, in my opinion, father and mother. God is a spirit. So I try my best not to refer to God as he. So here is what I'm saying to you. You get angry with your parents. If God is father and mother, like you get angry with your parents, you can get angry with God. Don't cuss God, but you can get angry. And when you get angry, sit back and listen to what God is saying to you. God gets angry with us. But remember, in our anger, we're saying what we're angry about to God. It's okay. It's okay. But after you settle down and you've taken a breath, listen. Just listen to what is being said. You have to give yourself permission to grow, to go, and to glow. It's in my opinion, it's not that difficult. But I don't want you to stay stagnant. I want you to look at, and we have to do it. Let me see, I'm trying not to get, I don't want to do the whole thing. I want to keep this thing, let me just say it, because I got to put a piece of theology in there. When you fall short, you have to do it daily. The Bible says, take up your cross daily. See, too many people think that, that they have that service. The preacher has preached a great sermon and you come down, running down the aisle, and, you give your life to the Lord and all that stuff that you do in the church tradition. And that's a one-time thing. I'm saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost. Hallelujah! You think it's a one-time. You have to take up your cross daily. It's a daily thing. So you have to give yourself permission daily. You have to it's a daily walk. You are going to stumble, you're going to fall, you're going to come up short every day. No one is perfect. We're striving for perfection, but none of us are perfect. So in your daily walk, it's a self-care thing, Sharon. You have to, every day, I have to be able to regenerate, renew, restore, revive. Give yourself permission to do that daily. And when you do that, you are going to continue to see the greatness being manifested in your life simply because you took the time out to reevaluate daily. You gave yourself permission daily. You gave yourself permission daily to have authority. You gave yourself permission daily to be awesome. You gave yourself permission daily to be authentic. You gave yourself permission daily to be amazing. But it's up to you. Y'all, I'm going to try to keep this thing to 45 minutes. I know it's to 6 o'clock, but I'm trying to keep it to 45 minutes. But I want you to give yourself permission. Whatever it is you feel you need permission for, go ahead and grant that permission to yourself now. Don't wait until later. Do it now. Don't look for someone else to give you the validation. Do it now. You are, I'm wrapping up with this. You are who you and God says that you are. When you give yourself permission, don't sit there and allow the triplets to come into the room with you and sit beside you. Who are the triplets? Woulda, coulda, and shoulda. Because they will come sit beside you and whisper in your ear, what if you would have done it this way? Or you could have done it this way. You should have done it this way. No. Once you give yourself permission, stand by it. Stand by it. When you detox from some places, people, and things, you will see that some amazing things will manifest in your life. I'm almost done. I got 4 minutes. I said I can keep it to 45 minutes. Go
Brian,
ahead.
may I?
You absolutely positively may.
I'll keep it very brief. I just want to encourage people to be okay with realizing friendships and relationships that you've had for a long, long time, they may too need to be reevaluated.
Mm.
Just because you've been with somebody for a long, long, long time doesn't mean that they have always really been in your corner. And that's not to be negative Nelly because of my own experiences of finding out. But through this layoff journey, I have really come to understand that I've been having a different experience in some of my friendships than the other people were. And it's okay because one of my mentors had to sit me down and tell me, don't be angry with these people. Understand that they were doing friendship on the level in a way they knew how. So be okay with that as well.
Ooh, they were doing friendship, and that's true. They were doing friendship the only way they knew how. I like that. But you said something that's important, and I've said this time and time again. The people who are in your circle are not necessarily the people in your corner.
Very true.
Because everybody, a lot of people will be in your circle. That's fine. But not everybody who are there in your corner.
Especially when you're up against the ropes and you about to get the count, and then they won't even pour a bottle of water on you.
I shared with somebody the other day. It was so interesting. I said, and I can't. I'm gonna paraphrase it. I said there are some people in your life that you will swim across the ocean for, but they won't swim across the pond for you. You're right, Bruce. You will give your all to people, and not necessarily looking for something in return. You because it's just in you to do it. But then
Exactly.
when you, like you said, the friendships, you look for them to do something, nowhere to be found. All right. Thank you for sharing. Thank you all for sharing today. I appreciate this. This is always good for me. I don't know about for anybody else. It's good for me. I do this. I don't look for people to come on. I just do it. I put out the invitation. People pop on. Okay, you pop on. But if you don't, that's perfectly fine. I'm gonna still do it. I've been off for the last 2 Sundays, so I'm feeling really good about just coming and having the opportunity to share. Next Sunday. I've got a special guest. He's special to me, and it's because he's my son. Of course, that's why he's special. And he's got an interesting story. If those of you who are on Facebook, I posted about him doing he's working on a documentary type thing and posted it, and it's soon to be released on Netflix. And so I reached out to him, hey man, let's get together. He's in California, so let's get together. You come on and talk about what you're doing. And so he's gonna come on next Sunday. And then I think sometime in October, Sharon, we're gonna talk afterwards. Sometime in October, Sharon is going to come and lead us in our wellness, because I really want to be able to talk about wellness, self-wellness, self-care. What does that really mean? I think too many people miss out on the opportunity to do self-care. And so you need to be able to spend time doing self-care. So she's going to do that. And so Sharon, I think she's still on, at 6:30. She sent me the information. She's coming back on 6:30. We do the community prayer. And I lead it every first and third Sunday. So at 6:30, I will be doing the community prayer. Always a great time just to fellowship and just to really pray for people. And I want to invite you to do that, to be a part of that. And it comes on, she does it on Zoom and Facebook Live. You want to talk a little bit about it right quick or no?
Yes, that's every Sunday at 6:30 in the Facebook page, Community Prayer in the South. So everyone is welcome to join us. And then also we're always looking for prayer warriors, spiritual leaders, ministers and pastors who would like to lead the community in prayer on the second and the fourth Sunday. And then on the fifth Sunday, when those opportunities come, what I've started doing on those Sundays is to have kind of like a special occasion type thing. On the last fifth Sunday, I had someone to sing, and there's one fifth Sunday in November, and I will have someone to sing. So if you want to show off your special gifts, whether it's singing or a poem or just something that you may be passionate about, other than a prayer, just by all means, send me a message, and you can send me a message in Community Prayer in the South.
Thank you. I'm just disappointed that you never asked me to sing.
I didn't know.
Trust me. You do not want me to sing.
Okay.
I couldn't carry a tune in a bucket. So.
Okay, well maybe that's why, because I didn't know.
No. Now, in my mind, I can sing, but yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us for we say the hour, and I run it up till about 5:45, almost 6 o'clock. So thank you for joining us. We do this every Sunday. And like I said, I'll do it if no one else joins, but it's just an opportunity to really speak life. Thank you for your input and for sharing. Spread the word. Is always posted on social media where I used to start about Thursday morning, Thursday sometime. I start posting it on social media about joining us. So feel free to invite others to come on with us. We have a great topic. Next Sunday, I believe we're going to talk about paying it forward and random acts of kindness. I think that's what we just said we want to talk about. Sharon, thank you. She put the information in for the prayer in the chat box. So you all are welcome to talk, reach out to her about the prayer. All right. So thank you again. I look forward to seeing you again on next Sunday, 5 o'clock right here via Zoom. I hope to have Facebook Live back up. I don't know what happened when it went down. And of course, now that I know how to run YouTube, so it's actually on YouTube as well. So and I think it's showing up on my YouTube page or YouTube channel, so you'll be able to go back and see it. So I'm going to end it now. Thank you guys for joining us, and have a great rest of your evening.